So, hello everyone, and welcome to a conversation with ELPRO Technologies. My name is Erica Nordio from LabTest Certification, one of your hosts today. And joining me as well is Gersher Sidhu, also from LabTest Certification, and our account manager and project engineer for the Hazardous Locations Equipment Department. Our special guest today is Mr. Peter Wellington, Global Sales and Marketing Manager at ELPRO Technologies. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Erica, and hi, Krishna. Thank you for having me.
So before we start, and to give our listeners an idea of what this is all about, a conversation with is a set of interviews with some of our longtime clients, a chat to see how everyone is doing and adapting during this new and challenging time, which is the global pandemic with the coronavirus. The idea came from asking ourselves, how can we help? So, our hope is that through our conversations, listeners could get some insights from listening to our guests who may be in a similar situation. I will now hand it over to Gersher, who will continue our chat with our guest today. Gersher?
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. Hey, Peter. So I guess to start off, initially, I got involved with ELPRO projects with the wireless input-output module on the IECX side. I think it'll be insight for our users to know, what ELPRO Technologies does and what's your role at ELPRO, and then we can get into the questions.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, ELPRO Technologies, we're a manufacturer and supplier of secure industrial wireless equipment. So, as you said, Gershon, wireless input, wireless output devices. So, in a mix of different frequency ranges as we export globally everywhere and in the industrial applications. So, water, wastewater is our main one globally, mining, oil and gas, where we help customers able to monitor and control remote assets securely over long ranges as well as short distances. And inside of that, we also specialise in hazardous area equipment, and that's where we utilise lab test services and providing us that certifications. As I said, over 30 years, and my role is the global sales and marketing manager, and bringing our products to market globally, and we utilise a range of channel partners throughout the world and offices also outside. Our primary basis is in Brisbane, Australia, so where our R&D operations centre is all based out of.
It's awesome. For a little while, you guys were also an Eaton company.
Yeah, that's right. That was ELPRO's had in that long history. There's been a few acquisitions over the years, and in 2018 we were acquired by Aquamonics, which is another Australian company that specialise also in flow meters, integration services, and agriculture and irrigation. So also a very good complementary business for ELPRO, where they see and utilise our wireless equipment. And also in the flood warning markets, that's a very big part of our business in Australia, and also globally. Flood warning is, as the climate changes at the moment, there's good ways of getting information quickly and accurately to government agencies. So that's where Aquamonics came in for that. So it's been a really great integration in the past 2 years.
Yeah, that seems like a very good partnership to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on the other hand, given the COVID situation currently that we're all going through, just wanted to start off by asking how has everyone at your company and their families been through the situation?
Yeah, look, we're pretty good. It's been a very big change and jump for everyone since about March. Here in Australia, I think we're very lucky. Australia's in the middle of nowhere, very hard to get to. So even though we've had cases and unfortunate instances with people in Australia and around the world, here in Australia, especially at the ELPRO office, we've been quite well. We haven't had any incidences or things like that, but it has been a change to our families as well. Our distancing and the way that we go around working, as well as our children, schooling and all these things are all starting to become teachers and respect how the educators have the work that they do, following on with that. So it's been challenging, but it's also been great way of looking at how we do things differently moving forward.
Yeah. So I think that's a good way to put it. And on the other side, as you mentioned, you're looking at different things to be put into work as you are looking at alternative work arrangements. So what were some of the changes that your business had to kind of go through by the impacts of COVID?
Yeah. So a very big part, and it came from the overall from across the Aquamonics group and ELPRO, is the safety of the staff and as well as the families. So we implemented a work from home situation where we can, and that also helped us with our production facility. We have a production facility here where we're making products for our customers globally, and we wanted to make sure that production facility could operate while all this was occurring, and for people that could work from home or remotely, and we shared the way the office, so and set that up so everyone was safe, implemented measures to do that, as well as the social distancing that we've all had. I guess we're kind of lucky we have a large facility, so we're not very much sitting on top of each other. We have that social distancing already. But it's something that we're going to have to be used to and live with for quite some time here on in. Yeah.
No, that's I think the way to go at this time as well. On the other hand, as you kind of went through these changes, before, if you were all in one location, it was really easy for you guys to all stay connected. You pop on over to somebody's office and you have a conversation with them. How is your team staying connected at this point?
So that was a change. A lot of us do travel. Myself, I travel globally quite often, so I'm used to working off a mobile device in airports and hotels. I think some of the staff, as we moved remotely, utilising Teams and things like that, and cloud-based services for data. It's a bit of a change. I think better ways of scheduling and how we set meetings and agendas and so forth. Seen that change over the 3 months of being productive, but it's not the same as going across to someone's desk and asking for a quick hand or things like that. But also, I think it helps with everyone else in the world is having the same challenges as well, that we all learn to work with each other. I guess the biggest hurdle is internet speeds. As we've all moved out remotely, it's created a problem. I wish that wasn't the case, but the things that we have to hurdle and live with and adapt with and do that. So it has been a bit of a challenge, but I think we're getting better, and I think this will help us moving forward as a business as well.
Right. No, that's definitely it. And on the other side, what kind of, as you mentioned, it will help us, going forward as well. What kind of good outcomes do you see coming out of this situation overall? If you can touch up on that a little bit.
I think a lot of that's our processes in how we do things. The availability of data that we have and records. I'm not saying that it was bad in the past, but just easier accessibility and availability of it. And that's by the way that we've been sharing information recently. And not only just internally, but externally. We have an office and staff outside of Australia, as well as our channel partners globally are a large part of our business. So for them to be able to access data and access information from us as well, and free communication and how that all works, implementing knowledge-based systems and all those type of help desk type for people to get access to, rather than just the original phone call or coming to us. So it's just making data freely available, I guess, would be the main thing. And that's via ways of cloud, secure cloud services. We have to ensure security is still a large part of our corporate structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, especially with a lot going on in news lately, with things getting hacked into and a lot more people taking advantage of the situation overall.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Being an engineering company, how do you see ELPRO in the supply chain of essential services? I mean, have you been able to find, to be part of the situation, solution, in the situation somehow? For example, at LabTest, what we did, because we do testing and certification of products, any critical kind of medical care products or pharmaceutical equipment which was going out for manufacturing, we kind of put that as a first priority to kind of get that out of the door. How about on ELPRO's side? How are you guys in the part of the supply chain?
Yeah, so I guess, we sit very much at the very beginning. So we're, the manufacturer and supplier of these goods. A lot of our goods do go, into the, your municipal water and wastewater industries, as well as, moves further out into mining and oil and gas, and environmental. So a lot of that is being able to provide and supply these parts, to people as required. And that's backing up our channel partners. We have a small service team ourselves in ELPRO, but we also rely and help and support our partners globally to provide that first level of service to the essential services. And probably the largest part of that is the water and wastewater industries, where providing connectivity for people in breakdowns and needs, whereas those municipals are having to deal with exactly the same as what we have. So we've implemented a way of just being able to try and provide greater service to our partners, but also we've seen throughout this ordeal there's been great disruptions via transportation with airlines, not as many airlines, being able to provide a global delivery service as well as parts, components, sourcing and all those things has been a challenge. I think communication's a very strong part of what we've done, and also there being able to provide ways of helping people in other alternatives. It's the same as like in your business. It's the quality that you have to be able to stand by and maintain that quality of service to people, and especially at this time when there's not as many people being able to be out doing work. So that's a very key part of keeping that quality and maintaining that service for people.
Right. That's very insightful and good way to kind of put it. I guess the last question, as you kind of touched a little bit on challenges. I'm sure you were used to working remotely because you were globally going to different trade shows and traveling a lot. Did you experience any challenges or your staff while working remotely in these times that can be insightful for our customers or the viewers or listeners to know?
Yeah, so I guess where this really started, I was actually overseas at the beginning of March, and was back in Australia a week before a lot of these restrictions were put in place. So for my family, it's been possibly lucky that they've had me at home, depending how they may see that for these past couple of months. But I find the way that we've been able to have to communicate with our partners, our customers and clients is going to change, moving forward for quite some time. Personally, here in Australia, we still have a lot of restrictions. It's hard to fly everywhere. A lot of our clients also have restrictions on how they can visit and see people. So a lot of it, I see, is going to be quite some time before we really start engaging again in trade events and how we do those. A lot of them more will be, I've seen a lot more virtual type of trade events and how we do that. It's difficult from a sales role, and it's also going to be a different way that we see it in the marketing role, how we market our products as well. So, but I find that as long as we can provide that support and provide that service, we should be able to continue in that. But it's one of those things. We'll see how we go in the coming months. Here in Australia, we're starting to ease a few of our restrictions. Our cases of COVID-19 are very small compared to a lot of the world, so we're quite lucky there. But also, we also think and feel about our partners globally, where they, in other countries, where we've got to be able to find ways to be able to support them and help them with different methods of promoting their business.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So I guess the key takeaway for me here is communication is the key, which is similar to what you guys do, communication.
Exactly. That's right. So we provide data communications of wireless input and output and so forth for different products, but also where we are today, I think in all the businesses is really our ways of communicating to people. We can't do it face to face, and the days of the handshake have quite changed. Well, implementing other ways to be able to get our information out to people is going to be ongoing quite a bit, and using different types of social media and newsletters and so forth. So interesting times for us all.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's a wrap for us today. So just one last question. If any of our listeners were interested in getting in touch with ELPRO, is there a general email that they could contact you guys at?
Oh, definitely. The best one would be sales@elpro.com.au. And then from there, we'll have access to that to be able to answer inquiries, or if someone has something specific need, we can address it from there.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, we would like to thank you for your time and for answering some of the questions that many of us probably have right now. It was really great to spend this time with you today. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure. It's always great. We've had a good relationship with LabTest over the many years. It's an important part of the business for us in providing those services for our products, to be able to get them to our customers for what they rely on. So thank you also.
That's great. Thank you. It's a great relationship for us as well. So thank you, and have a great and safe day.
Yeah, you too. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.